Streaming cyberspace into your place, sanctioned by the Bootleg Racing League from New Smyrna Speedway. It's the Virtual Grip Network's final round, live as it happens coverage of the SK Modified Invitational Series, Season 39. Well, like a nearly empty ketchup bottle, this broadcast must resort to turning Season 39 upside down, slapping its bottom with our palm in an effort to squeeze out whatever little flavor is left. James Lowe's reign as championship point leader began when he won the season opener at Martinsville. Early on, others could only tease at pushing Lowe off the top rung, but by Lowe winning half of this season's first 10 races, nonsensical heckling is all his competition could muster. You know, the Mona Lisa never changes her smile. Sgt. Pepper never changes its tracks. Nevertheless, humanity continues to appreciate the Da Vinci brush strokes, the Fab Four's music, in the same way VGN viewers can appreciate the masterpiece that is James Lowe's Season 39 performance. So please stay behind the velvet ropes, drop the needle on the vinyl very gently, pull the lever on the lazy boy, and settle in for the final feeble condiment squirt of a simulated short track racing action that is about to stream your way. A warm Floridian hello and welcome on this Saturday night, June 24th, 2025. It's Jeremy Gridlock Scott joining yours truly, Bill Soups on Hive, the VGN broadcast booth to bring you our Words Eye View replay. Ryan Seneker, turn of the knobs, pushing the sliders. All right, Gridlock, what do you think about this place?
Well, it's actually really interesting because we're in Florida once again. A half-mile circuit, or less than if you're getting into semantics, 38 feet of elevation, because we're actually not too far away from the Atlantic Ocean. And I've got to say, Soup, some of your whatever the heck that was before that has rubbed off on me because I'm a little, but nonetheless, 78 degrees, humidity's about the same, so it's going to be interesting to see how these cars run.
Of course, Florida, the flattest state in the nation. Let's take a quick look at the points. You know, on a 7-race podium streak is James Lowe, and he's yet to miss the top 5 this season, and he's here for his 11th race. He's not going to back into that championship. He's going to win it going out in style. John Wilson's best result this season was 3rd. The Canadian Goose did that at Hickory. How about Todd Liston? Well, he leads all active drivers with Outlaw wins at New Smyrna with only 2. Kurt Smith won this season at Hickory. He's 0 for 19 lifetime at New Smyrna, and it wouldn't be a BRL, a VGN broadcast if I didn't mention that Lowell Jewell holds the record. 0 for 30 so far at this race in a SK Modified. Only Steve Hilbert has collected more incident points this season than Double Deuce Bruce Pearson. This may not be the breakout season that Lipper fans have been waiting for, but 6th is Chris Hayslip's highest career finish in the standings since he entered the BRL. But can he stay ahead of Jeffrey Harden? Other than Liston, Jeffrey Harden is the only other driver in the top 10 with a career Outlaw win here at New Smyrna. And how about this? Tom Hilbert led 40 laps last time out. He got a 7-point lead now over his big brother Tom in the Battle of the Hilberts. And there in the neutral zone, sitting between them, is Bobby Hayes. All right, that's your points. This is our final round this season, and just for those new viewers, because we're always picking up new viewers here on VGN, here's how it works. We go 100 laps. They have to finish on the same tires they started with. This is big boy racing. No fast repairs. If you break it, you bought it.
It's going to be, and of course, also with about 20 seconds left in 10 seconds, I should say. I cannot count today. It's been one of those days here in the Midwest, but nonetheless, obviously with the championship settled, Soup, it's going to be interesting to see who decides they're going to come out and play here, because we've got a lot of great contenders that you'll see up and down the grid.
Yeah, you know, considering it is the dog days of summer now and the championship is over, really no reason to show up. A nice, healthy field of 20 drivers came here, and one of them we're going to talk about. There is a ringer in the field, somebody to watch that isn't a usual participant here in the Bootleg Racing League. Hopefully they'll be around for next season because they're somebody to keep an eye on. Let's go ahead and set the grid. Now remember, this grid is based on the finishing order of the Baker's Dozen from the final race. They just inverted, which means Double Deuce Bruce Pearson finished round 13th position. He'll be on the pole inside of veteran Kurt Smith.
If you take a look at row 2, it's Brennan Myers in the 11, had a great showing, but really up front, it's going to be interesting to see how long it takes him to get to the lead, followed by Tom Hilbert in the 25.
They call him the Kingpin. He's been away for a while. He's starting to show up more regularly now. We're talking about Joe Segala and his familiar number 81. He's going to be inside of the Lipper, Chris Hazlett.
2 dark horses on row 4. It's 75, the Canadian Goose, John Wilson, and Fire Chief James Menda will be on the outside in number 45.
Menda always quick, and he usually starts from the back, but he only has to go from 8th position. Somebody to watch. Todd Liston, he is a 3-time champion in this series. He'll be starting in the 9th position. Inside, James Lowe looking to pick up his 2nd championship.
So Chris Davis on the grid, 11th, but he will have, it sounds like he might have to take a penalty, so he might be diving at the back. That'll be an interesting storyline to watch. The pace car rolls off. James Lehman alongside in row number 6.
Number 50, James Lehman. That's your ringer to keep an eye on. In the Baker's Dozen spot, it's newcomer Benny Ellison, and he's going to be inside of the Magpie, Edward Foster.
If you take a look at row 8, it's Ricky Harden. Great to see him in the series alongside the alongside the Caveman, Trey Bloom, and I think he may have left us for some greener pastures the past couple of weeks, and more like live racing.
Nice to see the Caveman poking his head out of his dwellings there, and he's back with us. In 17th spot, the Quiet Man, Ruben Altice. Watch out for this guy. You never know what you're going to get with Tim Corder. He's going to be in 18th.
And if you take a look at the final row, it's Ken Allen, the 49, and welcome to Alan Wanamaker. See if he's going to do the double. And there you see the 7 of Chris Davis going to the back of the pack and indeed serving the end of line penalty.
So that means everybody in front of him or behind him on that inside line will scoot up the spot. With that said, the parade lap is done. The pace lap is done. Let me turn it over to my partner to call the 100 laps that's coming your way.
All right, so pace car is pulling off. It's Bruce Pearson, Kurt Smith. Green flag is out. Look who's coming with Bruce Pearson, though. It's the 11 of Brennan Myers, though. The 6 of Kurt Smith going high, wide, and handsome. Going to try and hold on to that second spot. So far, so good. As Brennan Myers, to waste no time, goes to the inside of Pearson.
Boy, Myers gets done with Smith, and now he wants more. He wants to lead the first lap. Gets a good drive off of Ford. There's a drag race to the line. Liston's going to be credited with leading the first lap, but I don't think he's going to get credit with leading the second lap. The 11 inside the double deuce.
You know, Sip, we talked last week, and I said Bruce Pearson's going to be one to watch. I didn't realize Brennan Myers was going to start up near the front as well, as he rolls his way digitally into the lead, and he's going to take the lead here across the line. So Bruce Pearson, lap 1 leader. Brennan Myers, lap 2.
Try as he might, he could not hang on. Segala tucks into 4th place. Our first double wide incident is back there now with Wilson on the inside and the 25 of Tom Hilbert on the outside. There's nowhere for Hilbert to get down in there. Wilson is going to pick up that spot, and now that's going to allow the 87 to get in there as well. There goes Todd Liston.
Yeah, Liston making a nose out front of the 25 of Tom Hilbert. Jason Menda also back there as well. Look who's already making his way to the front of the pack. It's the 99 of James. Oh, one in the wall.
The 93 goes in the wall. That was Tom Hilbert, got loose right in front of him, but I don't think it's going to bleed out the yellow because they're all going in the right direction. Oh, the Lipper. That's not the Saturday night he wanted, but there's another race for him to, well, ease his pain a little bit.
Well, at least the Lipper can take it easy here and kind of get ready for that second race, as Brennan Myers opens up to a 0.7 of a second lead over Bruce Pearson. But look who's coming back there for second place. It's the 6 of Kurt Smith. Joe Segala also trying to run nice and handsome, but he goes a little high. Going to open the door up for John Wilson.
We ride on board with the Kingpin right now. Looking ahead at the driver he's trying to catch. Talk a little bit more about Tom Hilbert. You know, Tom Hilbert led 40 laps last time out. Let's look at Hilbert right now. I hate to take you away from what we're doing, but I feel that it's something bad is going to happen. The Magpie of Ed Foster just got underneath him. The number 3 of Ricky Harden got underneath him as well. Tom Hilbert struggling. Just want to say, I think Hilbert got a taste of success and was really pushing it there. Ran into trouble. The 49 of Kenny Allen gets underneath him.
Well, it's interesting, Soup, is he's not able to get down low, but watch this battle for 4th place here with Wilson on the inside of Segala, as both those drivers moving up through the field quite nicely. But yeah, Wilson, one of those drivers to watch out for, as he knows his way into 4th so far. But look who's also trying to really find a line. It's Jason Menda.
Menda is like he's in the supermarket and had to choose which checkers line is going to move fastest. He puts it in the wall coming out of 2, though. He decided to go behind Segala, who was on the outside, as Segala rolled around Wilson. And now Liston says, oh my goodness, that outside checker is pretty good as well. He goes to the outside. Wilson says, not on my watch. He blocks Liston. And now, here's the ringer. Watch out for the 50 of James Lehman. He's currently racing in 7th position, looking for more.
Yeah, Lehman running nice and tight so far. We saw how good he did last week until his night ended early in the modifieds. An unfortunate incident, but also look who's there trying to go around the inside of Liston. That's your points leader. And we have a spinner. It's the 32 of Trey Bloom coming off of turn number 4. Still no caution. Soup, the race director, being very lax with getting ready to throw a yellow flag. So Bloom going to be at least 3/4 of the lap down.
Oh, going around is the Kingpin. Is he going to straighten out? We'll get a review of that one. And Lehman makes an incredible move underneath. We'll get a replay of this. The 50 saw trouble, dipped the car down below the yellow line, and somehow rolled past everything. James Lehman, nice gun. Watch the Kingpin. He's turned sideways. He gets it straightened out, and Lehman goes underneath everybody.
Yeah, Lehman, the big benefactor there, is eventually he got in front of the 75 of Wilson, so move him up 8 spots from the start. Ken Allen, also your biggest mover so far, as we have battle for the lead as Kurt Smith goes to the inside of outside of Brendan Myers, I should say. Or this
That's
is
a battle for second. That's it. So Pearson was losing touch. Meanwhile, we talked about Brendan Myers. He is rolling away with this thing. He's got himself, let's look at the tower here. He's got himself over a second lead as we are working lap number 16. Still 84 to go. Plenty of time for Myers to run into trouble.
And of course, as we said, you've got Trey Bloom, who's still on the circuit. So much time back. We'll see what happens there as we are still seeing some battles on the track right now. It looks like the 3 of Ricky Harden. And that's a battle for 9th place as Harden gets ahead of Ed Foster right now. For the time being, also Soup Luke is back there. It's a 49 to Ken Allen.
It is. It's the 3 and the 4. And then Kenny Allen coming over. We know him from the Red Light Racing League, coming over to race with us. A couple of those guys transferred over. Good to see a little cross-pollination between the series. Hopefully we get a nice pretty flower here. Liston ahead of all these guys, racing in 8th position, with James Lowe, our points leader, in 7th.
Ooh, a little bit of a bump there as we have Segala going upside down. Still no caution. Segala's on his lid, and we still have no caution. And one car spun, it's a 72. And Soup, I don't know if we're going to get a caution tonight.
This is Ben-Hur racing. There's just no... Let the blood drip down the banking.
I wonder if it has to deal with Week 13 shenanigans with iRacing doing their updates, which is interesting. And look who's already in 3rd place, up 9 spots. That's James Lehman in the 50. He tries to square up the 6th of Kurt Smith.
We ride on board with Lehman. You can see the 2 cars that he wants in front of him. The white car of Smith, the blue car of Myers. Well, I hope you have your snacks made, because you're not going to get a caution break tonight. The leader races down out of 4, going through the puddle of Segala hemoglobin. Is that a thing? I think it is.
I'm not sure. Here's what's interesting, though. You take a look at the lap times. Lehman's running 0.2 of a second faster than your leaders. As here comes Chris Davis. Davis, you remember, had to take the end of line penalty, so he had to start shotgun on the field 20th. Looks like he's made his way up to 14th, trying to go around Alan Wanamaker for that 13th spot as he takes that nose to the inside. Wanamaker, though, too far away. He's going to lose some position off of 4 and then lose 1, maybe 2 spots.
That was a little bit of a man with a reputation with the nickname of Mr. Aggressive maybe coming into play there as the number 9 saw the number 7 behind him and maybe got a little bit worried. Boy, I tell you don't want to have Mr. Aggressive behind you. Now look at this, a battle for 2nd position. Here is Lehman working on Smith. This is a veteran. Lehman gets in there. He knows that this is anything goes here right now. He certainly doesn't want to turn Smith. He wouldn't want to turn him under any rules package, but certainly under these horrific, archaic, barbaric rules that we are racing under.
Well, Subtan is trying to walk his way out of a broadcast position. Email admin@brl.com to be my partner. Lord help you. Still got that battle for second place between Smith and Lehman. I've got to say, Lehman's looking pretty good. Also, this battle for seventh place, Ricky Harden making his way up through the field, up 7 spots as he loses that 7th spot to Liston. And Soup, I got to say, Liston seems like that he's about the only driver, no surprise here, that's able to make that high line work, as he's been able to defend the past couple of laps for that position.
So many battles to go on. We wait for this one to sort out. That's the Canadian Goose on the outside. The Goose is dropping like a pigeon. No pun intended there. The 99 gets the best of that one. Now there's another battle a little farther back. And we look at this side by side. This is a battle for second position. He continues to work on him.
I said it's only a matter of time before Lehman and Smith ended up side by side, as Lehman has that preferred low line coming off of turn number 4. But look at what's going to happen here shortly. Brendan Myers going to have to be mired in traffic, as got some cars about ready to be a lap down in the form of Trey Bloom and Tom Hilbert up ahead as you look off the top of Brendan Myers, looking forward through 1 and 2.
Our director has him looking forward to the lap traffic he's coming to. What we really need to do is turn that camera around, because it won't be long until Myers is going to be looking at one James Lehman as he is coming. Now, the 2 cars that he had to catch, it is Tom Hilbert who's had his problems and Trey Bloom who has had his problems. Those guys are racing for position. Let me check. They are indeed. They're racing for 16th.
So it's a matter of who's going to be last there on the lead lap, as Bloom had that spin. Hilbert had a little bit of an issue as well, but Bloom now gets into that 16th spot, as we're still watching now the new battle for the lead, as Myers going to have to check up just a little bit. Soup, this is going to be interesting, as we haven't had a true battle for the lead like this in quite some time.
And I'm going to take you away from it for just a minute, because I feel a yellow flag of brewing. Let's look at the number 3. He's on the inside. This is Ricky Harden. Oh, well, there'll be a yellow flag if we were racing under normal circumstances. Right now, there could be a death on the track. It's Smyrna who's watching him right behind, and they get it sorted out. Boy, but watch out for Ricky Harden. He isn't coming. So much to watch right now. We look at this battle, and we'll keep an eye on the leaders. It won't be long until Lehman gets up to Myers.
Well, Mendez looking left, right, everywhere, every which way, but straight, as he's trying to also get around. We got Kurt Smith spinning. Kurt Smith is off the course as he's into the pits. So Kurt Smith was up near the front, and now he's into the pits with some sort of issue, which is interesting. Could it be a pass-through? Yeah, he might be going through an incident pass-through.
He started up front, and then things have gone bad for the veteran. Started on the outside of row 1. Let's go to the leader. Here comes the pass right now. Now, Myers has 2 things to worry about. He's got the lap car of the caveman Trey Bloom in front of him, and he's got the newcomer, James Lehman, behind him. Lehman trying to keep an inside line off of corner number 4. There's no room there. The 50 waiting. Stalking. He's just wandering and just on him he's on him like a stalker. You can almost hear him singing, "Every breath you take, I'll be watching you." Like Sting, he is after Brandon Myers.
I don't know what to say to that. Trey Bloom, like the scholar and the gentleman that he is, ends up moving high. Now he's got to go up to the 25 of Hilbert. Hilbert will do the same, but look at this. I've got to say, Lehman trying to run a tighter line through the corners, and it might actually work as Myers slides a little bit off of turn 4, saves it, and saves the lead. Soup, this is going to be interesting, because now Myers able to open up just a little bit of a gap. Half car length separate the 2 drivers.
And a little bit of the outside wall for the number 50. Myers, though, a veteran of this series. He knows that we are only on lap 39. Right now, the 50, with all the work, all the outside, the inside, all the tight corners off of 2 and 4, just heating up those tires. You can only do this for too long before you're going to start to pay by lap times. Let's see if the 11, who's out there racing smoother than a new jar of peanut butter. Look at this, tighter than a new pair of shoes on a rainy day, is Lehman on the back of Myers. My goodness, how many cliches can Soup pull in one lap? I'm not done yet. Here he comes. Look into the inside. He's going to dive it in deeper than Buddha's belly button. No, he decides not to do it. Out of 4, Myers stays on top.
Wait, you get what's smooth peanut butter? I'm used to my peanut butter having bumps on it,
Not when you open. It's a new jar. You open it up, it's nice and smooth, even though it's still nutty. It's still smooth on top. Call the race.
Nutty like me. Here comes Lehman, though, trying to... Oh, a little bit of a slide by Myers. He's able to save it, but he may pay in the form of James Lehman. Going to the inside, and indeed he's going to. Lehman's going to take the lead for now, but it only counts when he crossed the line there side by side through turn number 2. Still, Lehman with the... second place once again. Oh, give Myers the save of the race award for now. Does Lehman try another look in turn 1? No, he doesn't, as he's going to hold station in turn 2.
Myers powers around the top out of 2 down the back straightaway. Now a great drive from Lehman out of 3. Again, he dives it in deeper than a Chilean miner. They go through 3 and 4. They touch. They bang. A hook. A jab. They continue to spar for the position. Lehman is going to get credit with the lead in the lap. They go through 1 and 2. They are Cialis bathtubs. Out of 2, down the back straight. The momentum again to the top side. The 11 fends them off.
Any tighter, you think it's a Chicagoland Expressway during rush hour? Where's Lehman? Myers. Myers is blinking once again. Not a good time for Myers to be blinking as he is entrenched in this tight battle for the lead as Harden goes up to 6th place right now, but still all eyes are on this battle for the lead between Myers and Lehman as they're going nose to tail through turns 1 and 2. And yeah, let's go back, take a look at that battle for 6th place between Jason Menda and Ricky Harden real quick, but actually, yeah, we see those two up high. What is Harden doing up high? That's interesting to know, but now they're side by side for the lead once again, and Myers has it for the time being. Does he keep hold of it, Soup?
Myers says, you can go underneath me all you want. I got the momentum on the high side out of 2. That's where I want to be. He's on the outside right now. He's got Lehman pinned down underneath. And he makes it work one more time. The 11 loves the high side out of 2. Let's see if he likes the high side out of 4 as well. No, not as much. He's better out of 2 than he is out of 4. They go in one more time, side by side. Myers pinning Lehman down. Lehman has got to be using up his stuff. How many times has he tried? He's tried. Lehman tries. He spies. But Myers denies as they come across the line. They are dead even at the line. It's going to go to Myers this time. But little by little, Lehman seems to be getting the advantage. Now, one more time out of that corner. A caution flag. Yes, they do have a yellow in Florida.
Looks like it's either, it looks like it is Wilson who's the issue there. As now we can all take a breather. And yeah, the Canadian Goose involved off of turn 4. We'll see what the replay has to say here shortly, but we can all take a breath as, let's see, John Wilson coming through 3. Looks like he's already a little loose on his own, and yep, just you spin me right round. Sometimes the back end wants to see what the front end's looking at.
So, apparently, Joe Segala inverted, partially decapitated, did not bring out the caution flag, but that little self-spin down into the Florida alfalfa does. Well, we don't know how it works.
Well, the IndyCar race director is directing tonight. Let's talk to our second place runner right now, James Lehman in the number 50 as Trey Bloom goes around for his pass through. James, it's Jeremy and Soup in the booth. I tell you what, you've got us on the edge of our seat, and we're paying for the whole thing. Looking good out there.
Thank you.
How's the car feel? Are the tires going away, or everything solid?
To be honest, the tires are just coming to me. To be honest, I feel like I have more than enough grip. I'm kind of playing with Brendan, to be honest with you.
Just playing with, okay, Brendan loves the outside of 2. They're doubling up. We'll keep an eye on you. Good job, man.
Thank you.
Ooh, that's going to be fun.
You know, these rookies come to the series, and all of a sudden they start to talk smack. Just playing with the veteran Brendan Meyer. You know, if the racing gods are just, if they have any type of poignant nature to them at all, James Lehman is going to have to pay for that comment. That's a comment that's going to find you in the wall. Not from any misdeeds from others. It's just the racing gods do not like cockiness.
No, they really don't, but somehow A.J. Foyt's a 5-time champion once as an owner in the Indy 500. Either way, Soup lights are out on the pace car, so we'll see what happens here as it's Myers and Lehman row 1, Lowe and Pearson row 2. Menda and Harden, Ricky Harden up 9 spots so far in row 3. Look at who's quietly made his way up to 4th. It's Ruben Altice in the number 70. He'll be alongside Todd Liston in the number 87.
Put on some rubber-soled shoes because you just compared James Lehman to AJ Foyt. That'll get you struck by lightning. Okay, go get it.
I don't have an iPad to throw. Green flag is out as Myers gets a good jump. And look who's to the inside. It's James Lowe now playing with the rookie, James Lehman. Round 1 and 2, but Lehman able to muscle around.
Oh no, as Myers going to leave the inside open, he makes a mistake. That's all she wrote. Good night, nurse, for the number 11. That's going to be Myers, is not coming back from this one. But he is on the outside. He doesn't mind the outside. Let's see how he does out of 2. Remember, Lehman thought he was working with the leader. Maybe that's all the BRL had to offer. But he hasn't looked in his rearview mirror. There's a man looking to pick up his 6th win this season. It's James Lowe. He's worked us all the way up. Boy, I would love to see Lehman and Lowe go at it tooth and nail as soon as we can get Myers out of the way. But Myers is not going to play into my strategy, not going to play into the drama that I'm trying to build. The 11 continues to be unstoppable, coming out of the corners of 2 and 4.
You know, Soup, you said this last week, and I'm going to be the one that says it dangerously. James, be a pal. Go inside. Go 3 wide. It's the last race of the season. You've got nothing to fight for. As they're still side-by-side for the lead, Myers and Lehman side-by-side like they're going at high-speed pace laps. So far, Lehman has that lead, but he's going to get in front, take it, and look who's going to the inside now. It's Brendan Myers in the 11. Thinks better of it now, back in the single file.
Haven't seen the 11 do anything on the inside line. The only thing I've seen him do on the inside line is drift up high and leave it open. And he can't do it! He cannot hang on the inside. He gets loose right in front of Lowe. Lowe does a good job of getting on the binders. But hello, here comes the Floridian fireman with a little home cooking, rolling the outside. We're talking about Jason Menda.
Menda with a little bit of wall banger, but he's able to control it, and he's going to concede that battle for the 3rd place as he goes a little sideways through 3 and 4. That's going to check everybody else up as the double deuce. Now going to go to the inside, and they're going to go side by side for position. You're watching the battle for 4th place between the Chief and the double deuce. 4th and 5th, but look who's also playing bump like he thinks he's the intimidator. It's the 3 of Ricky Harden.
He's got the number. Now he's already got done with Liston. Now he looks to the inside of Bruce Pearson. Pearson to the outside. Pearson has been watching what Myers has done. Myers loves the outside coming out of 2. Pearson, not so much. Harden on the inside now thinks he's in the preferred position. They come out of 4, and sure enough, Harden is going to close the door. The Aussie is back there. Oh, that was good. Pearson gets into Harden, but they get it sorted out. Here comes the yellow number 4. Oh no! Pearson turns Harden into the wall. Oh, the humanities.
You know, a lot of them should have ended up upside down, then the race director wouldn't have done anything. Maybe he just finally got up to the towers. We got our 2nd caution of the night. We'll see a replay of that here shortly, but I'll tell you what, this helps out James Lehman just a little bit. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't, because Myers will have the outside line.
When I was in high school, I had my heart broken from she was a cheerleader. She was a beautiful girl. And I was so heartbroken that I rebounded and started to date this woman that was truly fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch. I thought I'd seen it all, but what I just saw Pearson do, that rivals that girl. Oh, that was horrendous.
Ooh.
And Mr. Aggressive got up in it.
Yeah, he went. I was going to say, yeah, great recovery out of Davis, but yeah, looks like he's going to have to start his rebound from the 10th spot. So, going to be interesting to see what happens on this restart.
Let's dial up Davis and see what he knows about the car. Chris out there. Chris, it's Soup. We saw you try to get away from it. It was pretty good recovery. Do you know if the car's okay?
It says I have right side damage. I thought about pitting, but I'm just gonna see what we got, Soup.
Gridlock?
Sorry about that. So I say I'm here. So, all right, you made your way up from the back to the front, near the front. You're now sitting, well, 1 up from where you're supposed to start. Think with the damaged car, you'll be able to make your way up further?
Well, I got the tires angry. These cautions are obviously helping me. You probably can tell I'm entering the turn a little bit different than others. I've moved my brake in a way to try and make my rear a little bit happier. So we'll see what happens. I got to start here on the outside, which I'm not crazy about, but we'll see if we can make it entertaining.
All right, go get him, man. Okay, Gridlock, quickly, I want to talk about Lehman. Lehman does a lot of racing in the Red Light Racing League where the rule package says you go on the flagman. That's not the way it works here on the BRL. You get to go whenever you want to. The leader controls the field. Let's see if there's a disadvantage that maybe he doesn't know. Let's see what kind of jump Myers can get.
Yeah, of course, leader
And he
has
does.
it right there at the He does, yeah.
That's
So
the difference.
Yeah, that is the difference. Green flag is back out, and Lehman with the nose out front, but he's not able to shake Myers. And yeah, we know that here you go in the restart zone, and Myers knows it. He's going to get a nose up front, high in turn 3 and 4. Lehman with the advantage so far, and he's going to try and slide up, get a little bit of a touch there, but they're still side by side for the lead.
How long can Myers make the topside work? He's made it work be done. Lehman playing with Myers. I'm not so sure. Myers might be the one holding the cars right now. He's got the 50 down in there. We call it the popcorn position, and that's where James Lehman is right now, watching the show. Butter all over his racing gloves. Oh my goodness. Look at it again. Myers is so strong on the high side out of 2.
Yeah, James Lowe's the interested spectator there as the battle for the lead rages on, in spite of more flashing than what I'm seeing right now in France, as Myers gets the lead at the line, but how long can he keep it? Lehman dives down low, and Myers has that strong advantage. And if he can get a good run off a 2 and 4 soup, I think he's going to be able to really take that lead, and indeed he does.
The 11 does not like the inside line. He cannot keep the car down tight. He gets loose. He's going to lose the position to Lehman. He's going to lose the position to Lowe. Well, I take that back because now the 11 is where he wants to be. My goodness, why does the 11 even bother coming down low? He loses lap time. His fast line is the high line.
And yeah, Lowe, though, he's got that nose up front, and I have a feeling that if Lowe gets up to that second spot, Soup, we're going to see a great battle between Lehman and Lowe for that final win of the season. Everybody touched the wall just a little bit, coming off of turns 2 and 4 here at New Smyrna Speedway. Of course, you got that nice ocean dining not too far away. We'll see where everybody's going to be after the race, but nonetheless, still have this battle for the second spot from Myers and Lowe, and that's giving Lehman a chance to check out.
Sorry, I was just thinking about where you go for dining. Okay, looks like Lowe's finally going to get second position. Myers will not give it up.
I've got a couple places in mind, but you know what? I pay for those kind of tips. As Lowe gets the advantage so far, and yeah, once again, Myers' car just seems to be not handling very well. I'm wondering if he really burns up his tires here as Menda now gets his way into third, but dun, 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 dun. Here comes the championship leader. It's James Lowe in second place.
He has been unstoppable. He has been the cream of the crop all season long. I'm talking about James Lowe. But now he's got a new guy to deal with. A new kid in town has come, as the Eagles would like to say. But let's see if James Lowe can run him down.
I have a feeling with 24 laps ago that it is very possible for James Lowe to run down James Lehman, because Lehman has run down his tires. James Lowe really has not. He's been able to get up near the front as the field works their way around. And yeah, looking at lap times, Lowe running a tenth of a second faster than Lehman.
All right, let's finish a few storylines. We talked to the number 7 while we were under yellow. We wondered how good he was. Well, right now, Davis has worked his way up into 8th position. He's got the quiet man, Ruben Altice, in front of him. Working the outside is Todd Liston around the magpie of Ed Foster. Good to see the Aussie back with us right now in the yellow number 4. We'll continue to look at this battle. Nothing much going on right now as front as Lehman tries his very best to run away from Lowe.
Aussie, oi, 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 top 5 out of Foster's a great showing as we're watching Ruben Altice running his granddaughter's paint scheme once again, so hoping it's bringing him luck, and indeed it has. He's been up 11 spots, up to 6th place, battling with Liston and Chris Davis right behind there, going to try and get around Liston. Indeed he does, because Liston goes high, slides, saves it off turns 3 and 4, and he's going to lose a whole bunch of spots and kick himself out of the top 10.
Fast line is to the left there, Todd, as he falls all the way back into 12th spot.
Well, and under normal conditions, your provisional pole sitter will be once again Bruce Pearson, but nonetheless, again, final race of the season as we see the 7 of Davis trying to look to the inside of Altice. And Altice wants to get in the top 5 and try and get around to Edward Foster. And then number 4, he's going to bump. They're both going to go high. Davis going to go with them, and we're under yellow once again.
Well, welcome back to the track, race stewards. We missed you early on. Take a look at this
That was
one.
interesting.
Yeah, that was Davis had a good view of that one. That was the Magpie getting loose. Got a little bit of Ruben Altis. I think everyone kept going straight, so there's no rhyme or reason as to why the caution flag falls.
We're borrowing the race directors from IndyCar. That's the rhyme or reason.
All right. Well, social media is blowing up right now on my phone and on my PC that I'm playing that I'm working. We know that lap 81 went by and we didn't give you the music. People love the music. We're saving it because we knew the caution was coming. It wasn't time to go boogie. It will be boogie time when they go green. So just sit tight, everybody. Jeez. You know, you give them a feature, gridlock, and then they think they own VGN. Just it's chill.
It's like that anywhere. When I first got started, when I was a young little delay, I did a high school football game. It was one of the state finals games, and a couple of kids said, "You sucked." Well, guess what? You turned them out and said, "Oh, thanks for watching," and then, "Oh, it's great to have you here. Thanks for coming." So, thanks for watching VGN, the Bootleg Racing League. We really appreciate your eyeballs. That came out wrong.
I've done some high school football games, and my favorite was when someone would leave their lights on in the parking lot to get to announce that. Those were the days where you actually had to turn the lights off on your car.
I gotta say this: the last game I did for high school was baseball quarterfinals, sectional finals, and. I'll let you just restart, but I'm going to finish this point. I called our main sponsor Providence Central, although it was Providence Catholic. Soup, why don't you go ahead and do this restart?
I'm going to do this one because this one's going to be unique here as we are working lap number 87. We would go in lap number 88 when we come around this time. That means that we're 12 laps of racing to go. My goodness. 13 laps. Let me get it straight. The pace car pulls in. If you're thinking about winning, get the mirror ball spinning, grip the groove, make your move, put on your dancing shoes, get out there, show them what you can do. As James Lowe knows what time it is, it's time to boogie!
Oh, that was perfectly timed. I think we call that hitting the post, as Lowell was a little bit of a bump to the inside of Lehman. They're side by side through 1 and 2. And interested spectators, Myers and Menda waiting for something to happen. Myers looks to the outside of our points leader.
I may have hit the post, but I think Lowe may have hit Lehman as well, as the two L's are out there. Lehman in front, Lowe behind him. There are 10 laps to go. Look at the fight that the 99 gets out of corner number 2. But the 50 rolls the top side. This is going to be hard. The 50 is fast enough to make his car very, very wide. Lehman, though, has been so unstoppable. He would like to win that championship on a high note. We got another caution.
It's Menda. It's Menda involved. Not sure who else that was. We'll take a look at a replay here. But it's going to give another chance for James Lowe to battle James Lehman as we watch this. And we saw Menda, he was wiggly through there. And yeah, he's just going to lose it coming off of turn number 4. And it looks like it's going to collect Chris Davis once again. You've got the 4 of Edward Foster involved. So a lot of drivers who weren't wanting to be involved, unfortunately were, but Davis able to get through as, Wanamaker with a little bit of a hit. There's the 87 of Todd Lisson able to go through.
Let's dial up James Lowe. Working here as he comes around. James, it's Soup up in the booth. You got a copy? Can you talk to me?
Yeah, I got Soup.
All right, I got to play these things straight, but nothing gets my blood boiling more than these newcomers, these Johnny-come-latelys, these guy who comes into the series and think they can just win right away. This is Lehman's second race. Come on, baby, go get him. Teach him that this is the BRL.
Well, if
No. Don't give me the well. Go put him in the wall.
It's he's running me real tight. So I don't know. It's a dangerous game to play, but we'll see how it goes.
We're trying to dial back Soup's dosage because for some reason he's been all over the place. But regardless, great jump, up 8 spots. How are the tires feeling?
Car feels good. Just trying to get enough run to do something with it. But I think James has been using up his tires a little bit more than I have. So I mean, we'll see what we can do here. But ultimately, it's kind of a done deal at this point. I'm just kind of riding, hoping it gets done with.
When in doubt, go 3 wide. Good luck.
Thanks.
Somebody got to lower the Valium dosage for low. My God. Go get him!
I think we need to give you some what he has. Jeez, that was calm.
He did sound confident, though. He did sound like he had an idea. So, don't want to
look who's back there in row 2, Soup. It's a 70 Ruben Altice. So this is going to make things interesting and just see what happens. 6 laps to go. When they come down to the line, it'll be 5 to go. Remember, we only get 1 attempt at the green-white checker. This isn't it yet. No, not yet. We'll see if I have a feeling that we're not done with the yellow flags. Pace car will be pulling off here shortly once again. I wonder if
he doesn't know the rules. He doesn't know the rules. There he goes. He's going to get smoked because he doesn't know the rule packages. James Lowe out in front.
Yeah, that's exactly what he needed, but he's still going to try and go down to the inside.
Oh.
He's going to get off that left rear bump. As we're back under yellow, I hate to say it, I called it.
Yes, you did. Oh, this is the newcomer involved in this one, Kenny Allen. Papa Kenny got into the back of Kurt Smith, Turn Smith, and then there's a check up there. Tim Corder got into the back of Papa Kenny Allen.
Well, if you take a look, too, it was Wanamaker who really started with that checkup as we're on board with Ken Allen. Let's see what happens. And, yeah, Wanamaker goes low, checks up, and, yeah, just nowhere for anybody to go.
All right, we're getting... So, the director is trying to give Kenny Allen a bit of a pass on that one, huh?
Better of a race director than what's up in the booth.
All right, I'm a little hard on these these guys that show up.
Wow, the Canadian Goose decided to shapeshift and go right through the pace car. That's interesting.
Well, indeed. Well, now we have a little change here. Now, if I were a good sport, we would dial up James Lehman and tell him that you go, that the leader has control of the field. But we're not going to do that.
No, he's had several restarts to go back and do it.
To figure it out.
Let me ask him. So let's see here. Yeah, exactly. Our director saying he should have read the rule. I mean, come on.
I don't want any part of this. You can tell him if you want.
You're darn right I'm going to tell him because you know what? I like playing with fire, darn it.
Dial him up.
No! All right, James. Well, restart coming up. What do you think?
Chrome horn.
Oh, boy. This is going to be interesting. Well, and of course, also you've survived the past couple of restarts. Won some, lost some. Have you thought about what to do as we're doubling up? Actually, we're doubling up. We'll talk later.
All right.
I was going till after the race, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to see what happens.
There's some type of transference going on. That's the attitude I wanted from the 99. All right, here we go. Let's see how this plays out. Is this a green-white checker? This is 2 laps. Okay.
Green, white checker, 1 attempt. Here's the restart. Green flags out. James Lowe takes the lead early on as they're side-by-side near the back. Brendan Myers trying to look to the outside of the 50. Not going to make anything happen. Here comes Lehman. He sounded like Paul Tracy there for a little bit. Let's see if he follows through on that as they come around turns 3 and 4. So far, so good. Coming down to the white flag. Lowe has the lead so far, but look at the 50 of Lehman. He's going to go down to the inside. Little bit of a tap there. They're side-by-side for the lead. So far, it's Lowe with the early advantage. We know how good Lehman is through the corners as he's going to dive down low. There it is! There's the spin! Right now, Lehman has it, but no, Brendan Myers will come across the line and he'll win this race!
Like a thief in the night, Brendan Myers steals it here at New Smyrna. I might have think that there might have been some good sportsmanship after bad sportsmanship. It looked like Lehman may have lifted after he turned low. We'll take another look at it and let's get a your point of view and at home. You decide.
All right, let's take a look at this because we got to go to a break here shortly. But let's see the replay as we saw the side-by-side. Little Robin, fine. But you go into turn number 3, and yeah, those wheels were going straight.
And he pulled off.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll tell you, for James Lowe, I'll tell you right now what you can do with your good sportsmanship there, number 50. That was fun. It doesn't mean anything. The championships is decided. If you're going to have that kind of racing, let's have it on race 11 of an 11-race schedule. Woo! And again, a BRL or wins, because you just can't come into this series and start picking up your wins without paying your dues. All right, the racing is over. Our broadcast is not. We're going to take a short break, come back and run down the finishing order, which will not include James Lehman on the podium. Then we'll talk to some of the drivers before he put a shoelace on the gate, because we got another one to do a little bit later. You're watching the Virtual Grip Network. You know, you hear that streaming into your place? Don't call a plumber. That's cyberspace, baby, coming from the Virtual Grip Network here from New Smyrna Racetrack. New Smyrna Speedway is what it actually is, and you're watching the Virtual Grip Network's final round, live as it happens coverage of the SK Modified Invitational Series. My goodness, we have closed out the season, we've crowned ourselves a champion, and the race is over. Let's give you the finishing order right now. I'll take the top 10. He raced up front for a very long time, led 56 laps. We're talking about Brendan Myers. Then he fell back, but when opportunity knocked, he let it in and said, "Thank you very much, I'll take the win," as the number 11 gets that win. Ruben Altis, the quiet man, very quiet as he picks up second place position. My goodness, did he have any screen time at all? I don't think so. The number 9 of Alan Walkermaker gets that third place finish. Can't wait to talk to him. Trey Bloom and Bruce Pearson round out the back half of your top 5. Tim Corder, Kurt Smith, John Wilson, Todd Liston, and Mr. Aggressive Chris Davis are the back half of your top 10. Gridlock.
Well, the back half of the field looks like this. It's James Lowe, your champion. We'll talk to him in just a little bit. James Lehman, I should say Paul Tracy, or maybe James Lehman's finishing off at 12. Last car on the lead lap and only made it to turn 4, the final lap. And then it's Jason Menda and Ken Allen, first of the lap down cars. Ed Foster, Ricky Harden, Tom Hilbert, Benny Ellison, Joe Segala, and Chris Hazlip was out early on with wall contact. And there were fireworks, Soup, and they were daytime fireworks, but they were all on the track.
It was fun indeed. And with that said, let's go ahead and talk to our race winner, Brendan Myers. Oh, Christmas comes in June for Brendan Myers. Boy, you had a fun race. Let me tell you, you put on a good show. If anyone deserves to have one given to him, it was you. You fought hard all race.
Yeah, super fun race. Both Jameses raced me really clean, and it was just so much fun. It's really unfortunate it ended like that on the last lap, but sometimes we get lucky.
Indeed. Boy, you were so strong, high side of 2. Not so much through 4, but he would get underneath you and you would roll down the back straight coming off 2 high.
Yeah, I spent the entire race trying to figure out 3 and 4, and I have absolutely no clue how everyone was able to keep so much speed and not lose the back end. And you guys probably all saw the few experiments where I about lost it. And very thankful the cars behind me didn't take me out and were able to stay off of me. But yeah, 1 and 2 was good, and 3 and 4 was a struggle the whole race.
To the point where I thought you should just give up the whole concept of the inside line, because you were struggling so hard and almost lost it at least twice.
Yeah, there were 2 big ones and probably a dozen other close ones, and yeah, I thought the same thing. I tried the high line a few times, and even from the high side, I was losing it. So yeah, I have no idea.
It was a fun race. You put on a good show. Congratulations, man. We'll see you a little bit later.
Yeah, congrats to James on the championship. Thanks to you guys up in the booth at BGN, everyone at BRL, and my wife Lauren, and my sponsor Ambrose.
You got it. We'll see you down the road.
Thanks, Soup.
Brendan Myers. And he knows the Soup rule. If you're going to comment about your wife, you're going to give her a shout out, give her a name, and it's Lauren. Well done. Lauren, we hope you're watching. All right, Gridlock, who you got?
Well, another driver really didn't get too much screen time. It's kind of sad because, once again, running the paint scheme that I think he needs to keep all season long if he's going to have these results. It's Ruben Altis. You're the call the quiet man for a reason. A quiet second place. Well done.
Hey, I appreciate it there, Jeremy. Yeah, it was a fun race. It was tough to pass, that's for sure. The car would get loose if you was low on the track, and one time it stick, one time it went.
Well, and that's interesting as well because normally we're used to these cars running great on the bottom, but for some drivers, especially through 1 and 2, it seemed like the higher line worked.
Yeah, the high line worked pretty good. Especially on a restart, you can make it work really good for a couple of laps. I knew it was going to be tough holding them off or starting third.
All right, gonna step aside, let you get ready for the second race here because we know that's coming up here from the same track. Did you learn anything at least? Because it looks like there's a little bit of differences from what we've seen all season long.
No, not really. It's just a fun track, and I appreciate Paul for putting this on and Virtual Grip for showing it, and thank you all for broadcasting.
All right, second place, Ruben Altis. I'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you, sir.
Soup, it's actually kind of cool to see who's third place and gets to talk to you.
You know, I pride myself here at VGN of doing a good job of covering the whole field, telling the whole story. I got to kick myself this time. Alan Wanamaker from out of nowhere. I don't know if you had more than 15 seconds of screen time the whole night, man. Nice third place finish. You got to actually tell us how that happened because we didn't see it.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. I mean, I came out here late, didn't get a lot of practice time, so I kind of had to figure out the track as I went, especially in this car because I'm used to driving a tour mod. But, as the race went on, I kind of figured it out, and it kind of forced me to save my tires. So I had quite a bit of tire left at the end. So I was a couple things happened, and you stay out of trouble, and next thing you know, you're up there.
I think you might have been making hay while we were covering the battle up front, which was pretty amazing. Well done on that one. Congratulations on the third place finish, man. We'll see you are you going to drive around, stick around and do the late models?
Yeah, I might try to do that. Looking forward to possibly getting back full-time in the fall in this series. It's always nice to come back here. Lowell puts on such a great league, so you guys do a great job up in the booth. So, yeah.
I guarantee you, race rate model, we'll make it up to you in that broadcast, man. We'll give you plenty of screen time. Well done. Number 9 tonight in third. Good job.
Thanks, Soup.
All right, I'm going to be done for right now because we're going to get an interview with the championship with my partner. Then he's going to take us home. Stick around for this one. James Lowe, our champion, second-time champion is James Lowe. Gridlock, go ahead, talk to him.
Well, James, we're going to start off with this from the race. Well, that happened.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but big picture, something you'll probably never hold up. So we'll take the championship and move on.
I was say we'll end the race with that. Let's just say that the driver who took you out, kind of predicted this, but regardless, a fantastic season from start to finish. You won from the start, and really, you never look back for the points lead. So I've got to say, and you mentioned earlier on in the season as well that you found a little trick for your steering wheel. That had to have helped throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it was nothing more than just an offset setting. And it kept working all the way to the end here. I might have to figure something out on the late model, so it didn't work so good last week, so we'll have to figure that out. But, it was the car felt great tonight. Got a smoking good restart. I don't know what happened there on the inside line, but, I was gone. The green flag was out, so I'm not sure what happened there. But, just unfortunate how it ended, but we'll take the championship. It's 2 for 2 for tonight, and we'll finish it off here in a little bit.
Yep, we'll let you step aside. New season starts next week. Real quick, anyone you want to thank for this long season?
Yeah, I thank Mom Mary Alice for always being in the chat and taking out for me there. It's always good to see. And thank Lowell for putting the show on and putting up with all the BS. And you guys for broadcasting. I always enjoy watching the broadcast back, whether I do good or bad. It's always a fun time.
All right, regardless, congratulations. I'll let you step aside so you can get in the late mile. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Appreciate it.
And with that said, we're going to lock the pit gates from Mary Alice. Hopefully she won't go in there and battle the 50. But nonetheless, we've got one more race later on tonight. We still have racing all throughout the week as well. We'll be back in just a little bit for New Smyrna Speedway at 9:15 p.m. Eastern. Also have plenty of other racing. Mark Herzog, your special guest this week on Virtual Grip Weekly. But definitely plenty of racing throughout the week here on the Virtual Grip Network. So for everybody here at New Smyrna Speedway, my commentating partner, Soup's on, and Ryan Seneca for making us sound good, Lowell Jewell for putting us all on. I'm Jeremy Scott. I'm going to go have some ice cream. We'll see you in about a half hour.